Safe, but not too safe. The secret she'll never tell you. Wait. What if the one thing that makes her chase you is the one thing you're avoiding doing? What if, get ready, the real way to win her heart is to make her feel safe with you, but not safe without you? Manam parande ponade. Sound confusing? It's not. It's powerful. And once you understand this, she will never address you the same way again. Let me explain the big lie you've been sold. You've been told to chase her, right? Text her all day. Show up for her constantly. Make her your world. And if you don't, she'll lose interest, right? Wrong. That advice, it turns strong men into desperate boys. Listen, women don't want to be chased like a butterfly in a field. Butterfly. They want to be pulled in by energy that feels strong, grounded, secure, but also mysterious, unpredictable, a little bit dangerous. The truth about how she feels around you. Here's what no one tells you. If she always knows what you're doing, if you're always available, if your attention is always easy to get, then something inside her switches off. Phone. Not because she's cruel, but because her brain and her heart need a balance. She needs to feel safe with you, yes, but also a little unsure. Not about whether you care, but about what you're going to do next. That mix, safe yet unsure, comfortable yet mysterious. It's addicting to her, like a story she can't stop reading, even when she tries. The power of detachment. Now, this doesn't mean ignoring her to be cold. It doesn't mean being toxic or pulling back on purpose. No, that's playing games. And real men don't play games. They live with purpose. Detachment means this. You care about her, but you care about yourself more. You value your time. You value your goals. You love your peace. So you don't give 100% of your energy away just to get attention or love. You stay calm, you stay steady, and you let her feel what it's like to miss you. That feeling, it makes her appreciate you, respect you, desire you. Why most men lose this game without knowing it. You see, most men mess this up. They get emotional, they panic. She doesn't reply fast, and boom, they chase. They feel the silence and they crumble. They think, oh no, I'm losing her. And they rush to prove their worth. But bro, you were never meant to prove yourself to anyone. You were meant to be yourself, to stand strong, to live like a mountain. Still, calm, powerful, unshakable mountain. And guess what? She feels that energy, even when you say nothing. Real talk, what she actually wants. A woman wants a man whose life is so full, so rich, so meaningful, that she has to earn a place in it. She doesn't want to be your everything. She wants to be part of a world that already has depth. When she feels like you've got purpose, confidence, and direction, she leans in. She watches closely. She asks herself, where is he going? Can I go with him? And when she feels both safe with you, but a little insecure about how much access she gets, that's when you become her obsession. Blast. So if you've been chasing, stop. If you've been trying too hard, pause. And if you've been giving everything away too fast, it's time to shift right now. Because when she feels safe in your presence, but not entitled to your attention, that's when you become unforgettable. She won't be able to shake the thought of you. She won't know why, but she'll crave you, respect you, and slowly she'll start chasing you. Comfort versus boredom, the line that makes or breaks attraction. Hold on. Did you know that being too nice, too available, too easy to reach can actually kill attraction? Bomba. Yep. There's a thin, dangerous line between making her feel safe and making her feel bored out of her mind. And guess what? If you don't understand this difference, you might be slowly turning into the guy she used to like, without even realizing it. Let's break this down right now. The hidden danger of comfort. Every guy wants to make a woman feel comfortable, right? Warm hugs, good talks, sweet texts, always being there. It sounds right. It feels right. But here's the twist. Too much comfort equals no tension. No tension equals no spark. No spark equals game over. See, women aren't wired like men. They don't just want peace. They want a story. They want a journey. They want to feel like something real is unfolding. And if every single moment is predictable, if you're always one text away, if you're always available, never mysterious, never busy, you stop being a main character and you turn into background noise. Pombe, why she loses interest and can't explain why. Ever had a girl say something like, "I don't know. I just don't feel the same anymore. I feel like we've lost the spark. I love you, but I'm not in love with you." Ouch. That's not because you did something wrong. It's because she stopped feeling excited. She stopped feeling that mix of, I feel safe with him, and I want to earn his attention again. When she feels too comfortable, there's no chase. When there's no chase, there's no chemistry. And when the chemistry dies, attraction quietly slips away. How detachment fixes this instantly. Now here's where most men mess up. They feel her pulling away, so they give more attention, more texts, more good morning, beautiful heart messages. But what does that do? It pushes her even further away. Here's the truth bomb. Less is more. Space creates desire. And detachment is the tool that brings back mystery. When you stop trying to fill every moment, when you stop over-explaining yourself, when you give her space to feel your absence, something inside her shifts. Electric shock. She starts to wonder about you again. She starts to notice the quiet. And instead of being bored, she becomes curious. And curiosity is the first step to attraction. Create emotional waves, not a flat line. Here's the trick. You don't want to be the guy who's always there with a smile. You want to be the guy who gives her emotional waves. Moments of connection, followed by space. Moments of safety, followed by mystery. Moments of peace, followed by silence. This doesn't mean you ghost her. It doesn't mean you play games. It means you live your life fully, and your attention becomes something she looks forward to, not something she just expects. That's how you make her feel emotionally alive around you. You become a puzzle she wants to solve. Let's get real. Women don't want every answer on the first page. They want the mystery, the chase, the unfolding. If you're too easy to figure out, too predictable, too emotionally available every single moment, she stops reading your story. But when you master the balance, safety and uncertainty, warmth and distance, support and silence, you become a puzzle she can't stop thinking about. She asks herself, why am I thinking about him right now? Why do I miss him when he's gone? Why does it feel so good when he texts me? You've now created something priceless. Emotional contrast. And that contrast, it's the spark that keeps her heart on fire. So remember this. Being nice isn't the problem. Being too comfortable is. You're not here to be her emotional teddy bear. You're here to be her emotional roller coaster. One that makes her feel safe in the seat, but thrilled by the ride. Because when she doesn't know what's coming next, that's when she stops scrolling and starts thinking about you. The man who leads emotionally wins her soul. Here's a question no one asks. Who leads the emotions in your connection, you or her? Wait, what? Most men don't even think about this. But it's one of the biggest secrets of attraction. Because the truth is simple. If she's the one steering the emotional wheel, she's also the one deciding how deep she'll go with you. But when you lead emotionally, she follows, she relaxes. She starts to trust you more than any words could ever earn. And that is how a woman bonds to you on a level that's unshakable. Why she wants you to lead, even if she doesn't say it. A woman might not say it out loud. She might act strong, independent, and in control. But deep inside, she craves a man who can guide the emotional direction. That doesn't mean controlling her. That doesn't mean telling her what to do. It means you control your own emotions like a calm river, and she can swim safely in them. She doesn't want to be the one saying, "Why are you acting like that? Can you calm down? Why do you need so much from me?" She wants a man who makes her feel safe to feel. Women feel before they think. You might not believe this, but it's true. Women feel things before they understand them. They feel the energy in the room. They feel your vibe, your eyes, your pauses, your silences. They read your tone before they hear your words. So when you're calm, she relaxes. When you're emotionally still, yet present, she feels safe. But when you're chasing, begging, over-talking, or trying to fix things, she gets overwhelmed. She doesn't want your explanations. She wants your presence, your grounded energy, your silent strength. Detachment, leading with power. Now here's where detachment plays a secret role. When you're not emotionally attached to the outcome, when you're not waiting for her to act right, when you're not reacting to every mood swing or silence, you're finally free. And from that freedom, guess what you gain? Clarity, confidence, control. Now you lead the emotional dance. You don't beg for rhythm. You bring it. She feels your calm and mirrors it. She feels your confidence and relaxes into it. That's what makes her emotionally drawn to you. Not just physically, not just mentally, but fully. The secret that makes her want to join your mission. Have you ever noticed something strange? A man with a strong mission doesn't have to beg for love, because love chases him. Boom. It's wild, right? The more he focuses on his path, the more women want to be part of it. But the man who makes her his whole world, he always ends up broken, confused, and wondering, what did I do wrong? This is the secret no one tells you. She doesn't want to be your everything. She wants to join something bigger, something already moving, already powerful. Let's dive into why purpose is your magnetic force. The man without a mission is always lost. Imagine a man who wakes up each day with no goal, no fire in his chest, no direction in his soul. All he does is think about her, text her, worry about her, plan his life around her. Pambus sounds romantic? Nope. It's heavy, it's needy, it's suffocating, and eventually she'll start to pull away. Why? Because she doesn't feel like she's joining a man with a life. She feels like she's becoming his only reason to live. That's not love. That's pressure. Women want to fit into your life, not be it. Here's a truth that flips the script. A woman doesn't want to become your purpose. She wants to be the bonus in a life already full. Gift. If you're climbing a mountain, she wants to climb it with you. But if you're sitting still, staring at her like she's the mountain, she'll walk away fast. She wants to feel like you're already moving, already growing, already building. And when she sees that spark in your eyes, that mission in your steps, she starts to think, wow, I want to be part of that. Purpose makes you magnetic, even in silence. Purpose is powerful because it makes you focused. When a man is locked into his mission, he's less reactive. He's not overthinking her moods. He's not texting all day for comfort. He's not wondering, does she like me? Every 5 seconds. He's busy, not fake busy, not pretending to be cool, busy. Genuinely, deeply, busy building something real. Hammer. And that energy, that's what women feel. They see it in your eyes. They hear it in your tone. They feel it in your absence. And they start to crave a role in your story. Detachment isn't cold. It's focused. Some men think detachment means you don't care. Wrong. Detachment means your heart is anchored in your path. It means you're not begging for connection, because you're already connected to your mission. When you're focused, women see it like a glowing flame, and they get curious. They want to warm up next to it. Fire. And when she feels both safe in your presence and slightly unsure where she fits in, she starts working harder to earn her spot. That's the magic mix. Security plus mystery equals desire. Stop asking her to complete you. Too many men look to women to make them feel worthy, loved, important, valuable. But here's the bitter truth. If you don't feel like a king before she shows up, you'll never feel like one after. Because she can't give you your throne. She can only see you sitting on it and decide if she wants to sit beside you. So build your kingdom. Build it with your habits, your health, your skills, your vision, and then invite her in if she earns it. This is what makes you rare. Most guys are chasing, trying to impress, trying to please. But the rare man? He's on a path so strong he doesn't need to chase. His energy pulls. His silence speaks. His absence leaves a mark. She doesn't want to leave. Because she doesn't want to miss what you're building. And when you offer her a piece of that world, she values it more than any sweet words could ever deliver. So remember this, she doesn't want to be your air, your food, or your sun. She wants to be a blessing on a life already full of light. Because the man with purpose doesn't chase. He chooses. and she feels lucky to be chosen. Why she can't forget the man who's hard to reach? Here's a wild truth. The more available you are, the less she thinks about you. Satranurdi. Crazy, right? But it's real. If she knows exactly where you are, what you're doing, and that you'll text back in 3, 2, 1, you become predictable. And guess what happens when something becomes too predictable? It becomes invisible. Ugh. But when you're just a little hard to reach, not rude, not cold, not fake, just occupied with your life, you become rare. And rare things, they always feel more valuable. Let's talk about how scarcity isn't a trick. It's your hidden superpower. The brain craves what it can't fully have. Ever notice how people crave what's not always there? A rare gem, a secret recipe, a limited edition pair of shoes. Now imagine you become that. Not by pretending, not by playing games, but by actually having a full, exciting, purposeful life. So when you're not texting every hour, she doesn't think you're ignoring her. She thinks, where is he? What's he doing? Who is he with? And boom, you're living rent-free in her head. Not because you're chasing, but because you're absent in a powerful way. Men who are everywhere go nowhere. There's this belief, if I'm always there, she'll feel safe and never leave. But guess what? Always being around, always replying instantly, always saying yes. It doesn't make her feel secure. It makes her feel like she already has you. Like there's nothing left to earn, nothing left to wonder about. And without that little bit of mystery, the spark fades. Ugh. But when you're just a little unavailable, not because you're mean, but because your life demands your attention, she starts to see you as a man of value. Scarcity creates desire, but only if it's real. Here's the key. You can't fake this. If you pretend to be busy while just playing video games all day, she'll feel the emptiness behind the silence. But if you're truly locked into your goals, if your time is limited because your mission matters more than checking her Instagram stories, then your absence feels real. And real scarcity makes her lean in. She'll reread your messages. She'll try harder to grab your attention. She'll crave that moment when you finally reply. Because it actually means something. Being hard to reach isn't cold. It's powerful. Let's break a myth. Being hard to reach doesn't mean ignoring her. It means you're busy with your life. You're not just sitting by the phone. You're living, creating, building. And when you do connect, you're not drained, clingy, or desperate. You're centered. You show up with energy, calmness, and a grounded vibe. That's what hits her emotionally. Boom! Because deep inside, she feels something special. This man doesn't need me. He chooses me. That difference, it's everything. Mystery without drama. The sweet spot. Some guys hear this and go overboard. They vanish. Ignore her. Try to play it cool. That's not what this is. You're not trying to punish her or scare her. You're simply letting your purpose shape your availability. If you're in the gym, stay there. If you're at work, stay focused. If you're building something meaningful, don't stop just to send a good morning text. Let her feel the silence. Let her wonder a little. Let her lean toward you, instead of you always leaning in. Rare men get remembered, even in silence. Think about it. The men women remember the most aren't the ones who always gave them attention. They're the ones who disappeared for a little while. Not on purpose, but because their life was moving. And when he came back, he brought energy, depth, and direction with him. So she didn't just remember the time he was gone. She remembered how powerful it felt when he returned. That's the emotional imprint of a scarce man. You're not distant, you're disciplined. You don't need to explain your silence. You don't need to apologize for chasing your goals. You don't need to say sorry for being rare, because you're not ignoring her. You're building you. And when a man builds himself first, women want in, not just because of what he says, but because of the energy he carries. That energy, it can't be faked. It can only be earned by choosing your path first. So don't forget, being everywhere makes you forgettable, but being rare makes you unforgettable. Don't fill every gap with your presence. Let your absence speak too, because when she has to wonder, she starts to want. You might think confidence means having money, cars, or a loud voice, but the real kind of confidence, it's quiet, it's strong, it's unshakable. Next, we'll break down the hidden source of magnetic confidence and how to build it starting today. Ready? Let's go. The quiet confidence that silently pulls her in. What if I told you? The loudest man in the room is usually the weakest, said Trinity. Yeah, you've seen him, always talking big, bragging, trying to look tough, shouting for attention. But deep down, he's shaking, he's scared, he's trying to prove something. And here's the truth that flips everything. Real confidence doesn't need to shout. It doesn't need to be seen. It doesn't even care if it's noticed. Real confidence just walks in and changes the room. Let's talk about the kind of confidence that silently attracts and makes her feel drawn to you, even when you say nothing. Confidence isn't something you show. It's something you carry. You don't need to tell her you're confident. In fact, the moment you do, you just showed that you're not. Real confidence is felt, not spoken. It's in the way you breathe, the way you walk, the way you hold eye contact, and don't rush to fill the silence. She feels it in your calm. She feels it when you're not fidgeting, over-explaining, or chasing her approval. It's like a calm ocean, still, powerful, deep. Why confidence starts with competence. Here's a secret most guys never hear. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. How? By becoming competent. If you don't feel good in your body, start training. If you don't like how much money you make, learn and grow. If your life feels chaotic, build discipline, one habit at a time. When you master something, anything, your confidence rises. It's not about being perfect. It's about knowing, I can handle this. And when she feels that energy from you, she lets go and starts to trust you more than words ever could. Why confidence doesn't come from her. Here's where men fall into a trap. They think confidence comes from being wanted, from being told, you're so handsome, from getting likes, attention, compliments. But that kind of confidence is fake. Bombe. Because the moment she pulls back, You panic the moment she's not texting back fast. You spiral. Why? Because your self-worth was in her hands. But real confidence, it doesn't move when she does. It stays steady, like a mountain. It's built on you, not her opinion. The man who doesn't flinch stays in her mind. Imagine this. She sends a cold text. She says something a little rude. She pulls away just a bit to test your strength. Most guys freak out. They chase. They overtalk. They beg. But the confident man, he breathes. He watches. He says less and lets the silence speak. And that silence, it hits her harder than 1,000 words. Pambu. She thinks, wait, why isn't he reacting? Why is he so calm? And now you're in her head. Not because you chased, but because you didn't flinch. Quiet confidence builds safe tension. Let's get real. Women don't want to feel like you're the prize they've already won. They want to feel safe in your energy, but still excited about what comes next. That's the sweet spot. And nothing builds that like quiet, grounded confidence. You don't try to impress. You don't tell your life story in the first 5 minutes. You just let her experience you. You become the movie she can't stop watching. Not because it's loud, but because it's deep. The difference between real and fake confidence. Here's how to spot fake confidence in yourself. You talk too much about your success. You get angry when ignored. You need people to like you to feel good. You can't handle rejection without spiraling. Now here's what real confidence looks like. You listen more than you speak. You smile when she tests you because you see through it. You feel good about yourself before she shows interest. You can walk away from disrespect without drama. Which one do you think she feels more drawn to? Exactly. Confidence is peace, not performance. Stop trying to perform. Stop trying to impress. Stop trying to be the most interesting guy in the room. Be the most interested in your life. Be the most peaceful with who you are. Be the man who doesn't need anything, but welcomes everything. When you walk into a room with that kind of energy, she can feel it, like a quiet storm, vertical synonym, not chaotic, but powerful. You win by being centered, not flashy. You don't need to be the funniest, or the richest, or the best looking. You need to be the most centered. A man who knows his worth stays grounded under pressure and never begs to be chosen. That's confidence. That's rare. That's attractive. So here's your reminder. Confidence isn't in your words. It's in your energy. It's built from habits, purpose, and self-respect. Be so rooted in who you are that even if she walks away, you stay whole, because that's the man she can't forget. The hidden emotional loop that hooks her heart. Okay, let me ask you something strange. Have you ever had a song stuck in your head? You didn't try to remember it. It just stayed there, looping again and again and again. You hear a tiny piece of it, and boom, the whole thing rushes back. Now, what if I told you women feel the same way about certain men? Not the loudest guy, not the richest guy, not even the most romantic one, but the man who triggers a feeling she can't explain, the man who makes her feel safe, yet just unsure enough to keep thinking about him. Let's break this down, because once you understand this emotional loop, you'll know how to stay on her mind long after you've left the room. Satranodi. Mystery isn't confusion, it's emotional depth. Here's the mistake most guys make. They confuse being open with being a complete open book. They lay everything out too fast. They try to prove they're safe, loyal, stable in the first 2 days. They leave no space for curiosity. And guess what? She loses interest. Because what keeps a woman emotionally pulled in is not knowing everything about you. It's feeling close to you, but still wondering, what else is in there? The hook is in the contrast. Think of it like this. If you're always strong, always serious, she gets bored. If you're always silly, always soft, she loses respect. But if you're strong and soft, firm and kind, mysterious and open when it matters, now she's locked in. That contrast, it confuses her in the best way, because she can't pin you down. And when she can't pin you down, she stays interested. Safety comes from strength, not closeness. A lot of guys think, if I just show her I care, if I stay close, if I give more, she'll feel safe and never leave. Wrong. Meh. Because safety, real safety, isn't about closeness. It's about consistency and control. She wants to know, when life hits the fan, will he still be calm? If I say something emotional, will he break down or hold steady? Can I trust him to lead without losing himself? When your energy stays grounded, no matter what she does, she relaxes. Not because you gave more, but because you didn't lose yourself. The power of not giving her 100%. Here's the hard truth. You should never give a woman 100% of your emotional focus. Why? Because she doesn't want to be your everything. She wants to feel important, yes, but also she wants to feel like she has to earn your full presence. If you give her everything too soon, there's no mystery, no challenge, no spark. She gets what she wants, but then doesn't value it. So what do? You keep a piece of yourself focused on your mission. You keep a part of your heart for yourself. You let her wonder a little. And in that wondering, she stays emotionally invested. How to create the emotional cliffhanger? Want to know a secret? The most addicting part of any story is the cliffhanger. It's that moment where you almost get the answer, but not quite. So what do? You keep watching. You keep waiting. You stay hooked. You can create that same feeling in your connection with her. How? Don't always reply instantly. Don't tell her every thought the moment you feel it. Don't be available at her every call. Instead, give her just enough to feel connected. Then pull back into your world. World map. That emotional space, it drives her wild because she wants to close the gap. Why her insecurity is a signal you're doing it right. Now let's get this clear. We're not talking about toxic insecurity here. We're talking about that subtle tension she feels when she wants more of you, but has to wait. When she thinks, why am I thinking about him so much? When she doesn't feel like she's fully won you yet. That's the magic, because it makes her chase emotionally. It makes her open up. It makes her curious. It makes her invest. And when a woman invests emotionally, she bonds. She locks in. She doesn't want to lose it. The female mind responds to emotion, not logic. You can't talk a woman into loving you. You can't reason her into staying. You can't logic your way into her heart. Why? Because the female mind connects through emotion. And emotion isn't always fair. It's not linear. It's not logical. So stop trying to make her understand you. Make her feel something around you. Tension, excitement, mystery, depth, security with a sprinkle of unpredictability. That cocktail? That's what makes her obsess. Never try to win her. Let her feel pulled toward you. Let's end with this. You're not here to win her. You're not a performer. You're not a salesman. You're a grounded man on a mission. And she's either pulled into your orbit or she's not. And if she is, it's not because you gave her a million reasons to stay. It's because you made her feel something she can't get anywhere else. We've hit the emotional level. But now it's time for something deeper. Purpose. The one thing that makes you magnetic. Even when you say nothing. Let's talk about how your life's direction pulls women in without a word. You ready? Let's go. Why purpose makes her obsessed, even if you ignore her. Imagine this. You walk into a room, calm, focused, quiet. You're not trying to be noticed. You're not chasing anyone. You're not even thinking about her. But somehow, she can't stop looking at you. She watches how you move, how you speak, how you're not distracted, how you're locked in. And without even meaning to, she starts wondering, who is this guy? Why does he feel so different? Why do I feel like I need to get his attention? Here's the wild truth. It's not your looks, not your money, not your smooth words. It's your purpose, bullseye. Let's talk about why a man who's deeply focused on his life becomes 10 times more attractive, even when he's not trying. You were never meant to orbit around her. You weren't born to chase a woman like a lost puppy. But society lied to you. They told you, happy wife, happy life. Make her your everything. Put her first. But what they didn't tell you, when a woman becomes your entire world, she loses respect for you. Why? Because deep down, she doesn't want to be your everything. She wants to be part of a man's mission, not the mission itself. When she senses that your life is bigger than her, that's when she wants to be included. Not out of need, but out of desire. That's the difference. Purpose is the root of power. Let's be real. A man without purpose, he gets tossed around by life. He's anxious. He's unsure. He clings to love because he's got nothing else. But a man with purpose, he walks differently. He talks less. He doesn't beg. He chooses. Women feel that difference immediately. They can't always explain it, but they can sense it. It's the way he says no without guilt. It's the way he disappears for days and comes back stronger. It's the way he doesn't need her to feel whole. That energy, it's addictive. Purpose creates natural absence without games. This is important. You don't need to pull back. You don't need to play cold or act distant. When you're busy building your vision, when your schedule is full of meaningful work, goals, discipline, and growth, you naturally create space. You're not avoiding her. You're just busy becoming something. And when you're not always available, that's when she starts leaning in, calling more, asking what you're up to, wanting to be part of your world. Because your absence isn't a tactic, it's just reality. You're a man on a mission, and that's the most attractive thing you can be. Don't interrupt your path to prove you care. Here's a killer of masculine energy, stopping your momentum just to prove you like her, missing a workout to text her back, canceling a business meeting just to FaceTime, putting off your dream so she doesn't feel left out. Big mistake. Bombe. Because every time you do this, she feels it. She may smile, she may thank you, but inside, she's disappointed because she wants to follow a strong man, not lead a distracted boy. The more you hold your ground and keep walking your path, the more she respects you. Respect leads to trust. Trust leads to desire. Desire leads to devotion. Purpose makes you magnetic, even in silence. Want to be unforgettable. Want to make her think about you when you're not around. Here's how. Get so deep into your purpose that you forget to chase her. When she texts and you don't answer right away because you're in your zone, that hits different. When she asks what you've been up to and you say something powerful and simple like training, working, building something I care about, it sends chills down her spine. Not because you're trying to impress her, but because you're living something real. Women feel it in their bones when a man's life has meaning, and they want to be near it. She'll test you to see if you break. Here's the twist. Once she feels how focused you are, she'll test you. She'll pout. She'll ask for more time. She might even pull back just to see if you chase. And if you fold, if you drop everything just to make her feel better, you lose her trust. But if you stay the course, if you keep walking your path, calm and grounded, she'll follow. Not because you forced her, but because your energy said, I care about you, but I will not betray myself for you. That's strength, that's leadership. That's what hooks her. Forever. Purpose first, then partnership. Remember this, the right woman will never make you choose between her and your mission. She will respect your mission. She will admire it. And if she's real, she'll want to support it. But only if she knows that nothing, not even her beauty, her charm, or her love, can pull you off your purpose. She needs to know that your path is non-negotiable. When she feels that, she relaxes into her femininity. She stops controlling. She starts trusting. She gives more because she feels your depth. And that's what makes her say, he's mine. I don't want anyone else. The scarcity switch. Why she craves what she can't control. Let me ask you something real quick. Why is it that the moment you stop texting her back right away, she suddenly starts chasing? Why does she get bored when you're too available, but becomes obsessed when you disappear for a bit? It's not random. It's not magic. It's something powerful. It's scarcity. And once you understand how this works, you'll never overgive, overchase, or overexplain again. Because you'll see, the less she can predict you, the more she thinks about you, the more she feels pulled to earn your time. Let's break it down. What's always there gets ignored. Think about air. It's everywhere. You need it, but you don't think about it. Now imagine being underwater. Suddenly, air becomes the most valuable thing on Earth. It's all you can think about, all you want. That's how scarcity works. When something is always there, it gets taken for granted. But when it's rare, it becomes irresistible. That's how women see your attention. Give it away freely, and it loses value. Make it rare, and it becomes gold. Stop giving all your energy away for free. Here's what most guys get wrong. They think being a good man means being always available, answering every call, texting back in seconds, dropping everything just to be there. But guess what? That doesn't make her feel special. It makes her feel safe, but also bored. It's like eating cake for every meal. At first it's sweet, but then you're sick of it. Scarcity isn't about being rude. It's not about ignoring her to play games. It's about protecting your energy. It's about showing her, you can't have unlimited access to me. You've got to earn it. That's how she respects you. That's how she values you. Scarcity creates desire, but only if you're calm. This part's key. Being scarce doesn't work if you're nervous, if you're quiet but anxious, or distant but desperate. Scarcity works only when you're calm, centered, peaceful. You're not ignoring her to punish her. You're just doing your thing, living your life, and letting her miss you. Because that space, that silence, it speaks louder than words. She feels it. She wonders what you're up to. She starts imagining, replaying memories, craving that connection again. And it all happens without you forcing anything. Don't explain your distance, let it build curiosity. When you take space, most men make a deadly mistake. They try to explain it. Hey, I've just been really busy. I swear I'm not ignoring you. Sorry I didn't answer. I was tired and... Stop. X mark. You don't need to explain your moves. You're a man. You move with purpose. You don't owe anyone a minute-by-minute breakdown of your day. In fact, mystery builds attraction. Uncertainty triggers desire. Let her wonder. Where is he? What's he doing? Who's he with? Don't give it all away. Leave space for her to lean in. When she doesn't know what's coming next, she pays way more attention. Pulling back is weak, creating distance. Naturally is power. Let's make something crystal clear. You don't need to pretend to be busy. You don't need to fake being cool. Just get serious about your life. Fill your days with growth, challenge, focus, and momentum. And suddenly, you won't have to act unavailable. You'll actually be unavailable. Not because you're playing a game, but because you're playing at a higher level. That's when scarcity becomes natural. It's not a trick. It's your lifestyle. And she'll feel it. Scarcity makes her insecure, but also safe. Here's the magic formula. When a woman feels that you're not always available, but also knows you're emotionally stable, she feels something powerful, safe, because you're grounded. Insecure, because she can't control you. And that mix, that's what hooks her. Because if you're too safe, she takes you for granted. If you're too distant, she gives up. But when you strike the balance, when she knows you care, but she's not sure how much or when you'll show it, that's when you live in her head. That's when her attraction grows. That's when she starts chasing you. Not for validation, but to earn your presence. Your time is a gift. Don't give it to everyone. Let's be honest. Most men give away their time like it's nothing. They'll stop their goals, waste hours texting, cancel plans, just to prove they care. But the truth is, your time is sacred. TikTok. And when you treat it that way, she will too. You want her to feel like, wow, he gave me a piece of his world today. Damn, he made space for me in his life. Not because she expects it, but because she earned it. Scarcity flips the switch. It changes you from a man who begs for love to a man who chooses, who gets access. And that choice is what makes you high value. Only the strong can handle being scarce. Here's the truth most won't say. It's easy to overgive, easy to chase, easy to text back fast and always say yes. But real strength is saying no with peace in your heart, is creating space, even when it makes her emotional, is being calm when she doesn't understand. Why? Because you know the long game. You know that scarcity, done with care, not ego, creates real attraction. Not just attention, not just games, but deep emotional gravity. That's what you want. The perfect storm. How to make her feel safe and electrified all at once. What if I told you there's one secret that makes a woman feel like she's found a home, but also like she's on a thrilling roller coaster at the same time? A place where her heart can rest, but her soul is set on fire. Sounds crazy, right? But this is exactly what keeps her coming back. Keeps her craving you, even when you're not around. Here's the truth nobody tells you. Safety isn't boring. It's the foundation of desire. Most guys think being safe means being predictable or boring. Wrong. Real safety comes from being unshakable. It means she knows, no matter what storms come, you won't lose your cool. You don't freak out over small stuff. You don't get jealous easily. You stay steady, calm, like a rock. That calm strength is magnetic. Because in a world full of chaos, she wants someone who is her anchor. Insecurity ignites her fire, but it's not about doubt. Now let's talk about insecurity. This isn't about making her doubt you or feel small. It's about making her feel alive. You create insecurity by being unpredictable in a good way. A way that sparks curiosity and excitement. Maybe you surprise her with a deep thought, or a bold move, or even just a silence that makes her wonder what you're thinking. This kind of insecurity isn't fear, it's thrill. She doesn't want a man she can fully control. She wants one who challenges her, who keeps her on her toes, while also making her feel safe. The dance of safe and exciting is your power. Here's the magic. When you balance being emotionally solid and a little unpredictable, you create a dance. She feels safe to drop her walls, but she also feels the rush of excitement. This is where true attachment happens. Not the needy kind, but deep, lasting connection. She trusts you, but she's never bored. She wants to be near you, but can't wait to feel you again when you're gone. How detachment builds this perfect storm. Detachment is the key. It lets you stay calm, no matter how she acts. It lets you live your life fully, so you're interesting and alive. And it creates those natural moments of absence, where she starts to feel that sweet mix of comfort and longing. This isn't manipulation. It's freedom. Freedom to be yourself. Freedom to let her want you, not because you beg, but because you deserve it. She sees your purpose and wants to join it. Remember, she wants to be part of a life that's already moving. You're not chasing her approval or proving your worth. You're showing her what it means to live with purpose. That purpose attracts her. Not just your words, but your actions. When you're busy building your dreams and your future, she sees that strength and wants in. Not because she feels pressured, but because it feels right. Emotional mastery is your secret weapon. your calmness, your ability to control emotions. That's what makes her feel safe. But showing that you're human, that you feel deeply too, is what makes her feel connected. It's not about being perfect. It's about being steady. She wants a man who can handle her ups and downs without losing himself. That balance, that's pure power. Confidence from within, the final piece. Finally, confidence isn't about the car you drive or the money in your pocket. It's about how you see yourself. When you approve of yourself, when you trust your worth, that shines brighter than anything else. She feels it. She respects it. Because nothing is sexier than a man who knows who he is and doesn't need to prove it. The takeaway: be the man who's both her rock and her rush. So, here's what it all comes down to. Be the man who makes her feel safe, steady, and calm, but also makes her heart race, curious and alive. Be the man who lives with purpose, who values himself enough to create space, who masters his emotions, showing strength without arrogance, and who's confident because he knows his worth, not because of what he owns or what others say. That's the man she can't forget. That's the man she wants. Forever. If you want this kind of power in your relationships, start today. Live your life with purpose. Master your emotions. Create that perfect storm of safety and excitement. She'll feel it. And when she does, she's yours forever.